wherever you are. Hopefully you're having a great day, and I'm excited to be here with you to talk about a very interesting and important topic to all empaths. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Today we're going to be talking about the nervous system as a portal, particularly after you escape from narcissistic abuse. Welcome in. We're talking today about the nervous system as a portal to your awakening. And so that's the focus of our conversation today, how the nervous system is a portal to your awakening. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. Glad you're here. Welcome in. Again, what we're talking about today is your nervous system is your portal, not your enemy. Greetings, Lucy. Welcome in. Hi, Nunu. Greetings. Grand Rising. So, for those who are just joining us, today we're talking about how your nervous system is your portal, not your enemy. Thank you, Nunu. I love your topics, so you always make it feel natural and easy for me to let my guard down. I'm so glad, Nunu. This is what it's about. It's all about resonance, right? And especially in this age where everything hidden is being revealed, the best thing you can do is to just be yourself. And if people resonate with it, they resonate. If they don't, those who resonate will find you. Hey, Gax, greetings. So again, today we're talking about your nervous system is your portal, not your enemy. So welcome in. This is what we're going to be talking about. What happens to you after narcissistic abuse? What role does your nervous system play? Hello, Nox Survivor, Nox Thriver. This is what it's about. So welcome in. Welcome in. Tell somebody. We're going to get started in a minute or so. Your nervous system is your portal, not your enemy. This is what we're going to be focused on today. And this is for empaths or anyone who survived, hey Janice, who survived narcissistic abuse. And it's really about looking at this from a multidimensional perspective. So it empowers you in a very, very powerful way. This is what we're going to be talking about today. So come on in. We're going to get started in just a minute. The nervous system is your portal, not your enemy. Nunu, a person I always ask myself, does my nervous system feel safe with this person? This is how you connect to your intuition. I like that a lot. So let's get started, right? Let's get started. When we talk about the flesh as the portal, and exactly what the nervous system is and what it means for you, particularly after you've come after narcissistic abuse. You see? Oh, there's another part. Oh, let's see. What's the first part, Nunu? This time is a good one because I'm a survivor and always say I don't care if I think I love. What do you mean by that, Nunu? What do you mean you don't care if you think you love? But anyway, let me get started. I will start taking questions in about 10 minutes or so. So if you have any questions, keep them coming in the comments, but I'll get to them in about 10 minutes or so. And if you're on Instagram, you can video call in about 10 minutes. Same thing on TikTok. And on YouTube, we'll keep taking your questions and comments via text. So the first thing to realize is you're not broken. You're not broken. You're just rewiring. And what you call anxiety is not a curse. It's a signal. Thank you, Janice. What you call anxiety is not a curse. It's a signal. And what you call dissociation, being dissociated. For some reason, I've been coming across dissociation a lot lately. Dissociation is not a flaw. It's actually a protective genius. But let's go into what the nervous system is. What is the nervous system? The nervous system is not just the brain. Hey, Dawn Marie. It's not just the brain. It's not. It is a vast electrical circuit, electrical conducting system in your bioquantum network stretching from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. That's your nervous system. And the nervous system is comprised of two branches based on research. The first is the CNS, the central nervous system, which is your brain, and the stem, the brain stem, and your spinal cord. That's known as the central nervous system. And then the second is your peripheral nervous system, which is all nerves branching out from here within your autonomic nervous system. And these govern your survival responses. It's important to realize that the autonomic branch is not voluntary, right? It bypasses thought, and its job is to detect threat before your conscious mind can name it. Hello, Christina. Hello, Sabraha. But when you've been in trauma for a long, long time, as most of us have been, and some have escaped, some are escaping, some are trying to escape, what happens is it rewires your brain, and the trauma rewires this nervous system detection, this threat detection system. And with narcissistic abuse, it begins to form a sustained ritualized nervous system sabotage. In other words, narcissistic abuse sabotages your nervous system from functioning regularly. But let's talk about how that happens. Excuse me. You see, and the words I will use are not designed to be provocative, but just descriptive. Narcissistic abuse is a neurological invasion because narcissistic abuse is not simply psychological, it's neurological terrorism. You heard me. And how does the nervous system get attacked? It starts with chronic gaslighting. Chronic gaslighting shuts down your prefrontal cortex. How? When someone is constantly denying your reality, what you see is not what you see. You see, that leads to a disconnection with your prefrontal cortex, your reasoning center, which is why you might see somebody getting abused and you say, that man is getting abused by that woman. Why is he still in that relationship? That person is getting abused by that person. Why are they still in that relationship? It's because the center for reasoning and logic is overridden. It isn't that the person is stupid, but it's that narcissistic abuse, when it hijacks your amygdala, makes you stupid because it suppresses the ability to think critically. You see, and you begin to doubt what you see and feel. And as a result, you become disconnected from your own knowing. This is how dissociation happens. Disconnection. When you see people who are so dissociated, they want to project, this is where it comes from. So you can have some more compassion for people who are dissociated, because the amygdala is, and I'm going to talk about the amygdala shortly, it's hyperactive. Fear. So there's no place for thinking consciously. That also leads to emotional withholding or vagal constriction, your vagus nerve. What do I mean? The vagus nerve governs your ability to feel safe and co-regulate and rest. And that gets constricted when you live in a low-grade free state. Because that's what it's like to be with a narcissist. Mother, father, sister, you're in a low-grade free state. And love bombing leads to dopamine confusion. In other words, the narcissist gives you highs. You're the best. You're my soulmate. I've never met anyone like you. Followed by lows. Who are you? Who do you think you are? You're nothing. You don't mean nobody's going to love you. This trains your brain to crave pain-based intimacy. Am I talking to someone? Someone tell me if I'm making this up. Pain-based intimacy. Then love bombing leads to isolation, and that isolation hijacks your limbic system. In other words, when you're with a narcissist, exactly, that's why we isolate to feel safe again, blessed for life, true. What happens in this isolation is the narcissist, parents, lovers, etc. will isolate you from others. Thank you, Dawn Marie. And when in that isolation, you lose social cues and co-regulation. Because when you're with people, you feel energy, you can co-regulate. And that forces your limbic system to function just to survive. This is what happens to you, Miss Bonnie. You see? Then, from isolation, when they go through their rage and their threats and their fears, that hyperactivates your amygdala. Your amygdala, which is the part of the brain which tracks danger, gets stuck on mode. On. You start to see threat where there is none. Or worse, you miss real threat because you've normalized chaos within you. You see, this is important. This is how the curse works. And I'm using science to explain how the curse works. So when the narcissist rages and threatens you and gives you fear, that's exactly, it's insidiously demonic. What they do, and I'm explaining the demonic part from a scientific perspective. You see, yeah, man, Mortimer, I've got the bruises. This is Mortimer. I've got the bruises to prove it. You see? But anyway, when you are trained to be in this place of hypervigilance, you start to see a glass of water will be threatening to you. Everything is a threat. And by the time you leave the narcissist, your nervous system has been trained to reject peace, anticipate pain, and confuse love with violence. Come on, somebody. By the time you leave the narcissist, your nervous system, all of it. See, I'm even ripping my book apart. You see, because it starts to reject peace, anticipate pain, and confuse love with violence. This is why when most people leave narcissistic arrangements, whether it's familial or intimate, you still attract narcissists because you're confusing love with violence. And violence is not just physical, it's emotional violence, psychological violence, all of it. Wow, Nunu, I know. I'm so glad, and all of this is what it's about. I'm doing my job just like you're doing your job. You see what I'm saying? EK Balam Black Jaguar, so true. I took it over my shoulder now. I'm so glad. This is all about somatic healing. So how is your nervous system your escape pod? How does the nervous system a portal to escape from your pain, from narcissistic abuse? You see, what is the divine fail-safe of your nervous system as a portal for your escape? See, the nervous system is not your enemy. It's not your enemy. You see, the nervous system is not your enemy at all. It is your exit route. It's still virus. It has the entire system. It's your exit route from the matrix of abuse. So that panic that you feel, that's an alarm system. Be careful. Your intuition. That freeze, don't make this decision. That's your stasis shield protecting you when you begin to listen. And the dissociation, and I cannot tell you how dissociation is so prevalent now. Dissociation, when you understand it, is a dimensional field allowing you to survive hostility around you. So you realize that trauma rewires your entire body, but the same system that protected you is the same system that will guide you home. And every part of your system, the amygdala, the vagus nerve for feeling. That's right, Dawn Marie. The fascia, the gut, the gut especially. That's why it's good to drink probiotics or take probiotics. Hello, cat, right? Because your system is encoded with evolutionary intelligence, and what you need is not medication. You need translation, and this is what I'm here to do, to translate for you. And this is what I do with all the clients that I work with formally. So let's go even further. You see, healing is non-linear. You see? So you do not get better. People think you're going to get better. No, you just break the loop. Healing is not about getting better and feeling better. It's about breaking the default mode network, the loop. Thank you very much. It's about breaking the loop. And in chaos theory, there's this notion of fractal systems that repeat themselves at smaller and larger scales. Therefore, your relationship post-abuse may seem different, but feel eerily familiar because your nervous system is still looping unhealed geometry. This is what we do. Loop. And people loop for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Your whole life being a loop. What kind of life is that? And you also have to realize that each relationship is a mathematical echo of the original trauma until you change the algorithm. Fear no one. Thank you, Salt. No one. You see? And your triggers are not regressions. When you get triggered, it's hell, I know. It's hard. It's easier to get out of the loop when you can see it. When you don't see it, that's the genius of a curse. It just keeps going on and on and on. So your triggers are not regressions. They are fracture points which enable you to shift this formula of the loop. So when you do things like ground yourself, hi Eva, when you breathe, when you move, when you become still, and I'm a big fan of stillness. When you embrace stillness, you introduce chaotic interruption. This is the fractal term, chaotic interruption, which is the only thing that collapses the fractal loop, the regression loop. So don't fear chaos when you escape narcissistic abuse, because out of chaos comes order. Chaos is the key to the new order. So let me give you even more proof. Exactly, Jack. Exactly. So let me give you proof to support this. I've given you the scientific proof. I'm going to give you proof from a spiritual perspective. So it's often said from a religious perspective that the body is not the obstacle to God. It is because the body is the temple of God. You see? And in Christianity, Jesus tells us, or Yeshua, I should say, Yeshua said famously that the kingdom of God is in you. In Hinduism, the Kundalini snake lies dormant at the base of the spine, the Kundalini snake, waiting to awaken through your chakras, your nervous system, the energy portals. In Buddhism, mindfulness of the body is the first foundation of the Satipatthana Sutta. The Satipatthana meaning the foundations of mindfulness. The body, your body is your friend. But in your abuse made you dissociated from this incredible computer. In the Kabbalah, each Sephiroth, on the tree of life, maps to a nervous system, powerfully linking mysticism to embodiment. Therefore, empaths are temple builders. How do you treat your body? Temple builders in a desecrated world. Thank you, Don Marie, you just said it. Empaths, I'll say it again, are temple builders in a desecrated world. Just look around you. Your sensitivity is not weakness, it's divine calibration. Give thanks, Don Marie. And the narcissist wanted you numb. The narcissist wanted you numb. The narcissist wanted you numb. But the divine intelligence with you wants you attuned. So what are some laws of the nervous system, Christina? What's your question? I had a Kundalini awakening. That's incredible. No, you're not going insane. You are escaping insanity to sanity. So here's what happens. Let's go through some laws of the nervous system. First of all, your body tells the truth faster than your mind. Let me say that again. Your body tells the truth faster than your mind. So do not override your discomfort. Decode it. Exactly. Your central nervous system, Janice, you said it. The second point what I want to raise as a law is the nervous system is your prophet. Your nervous system is your prophet. The body keeps score. That's the work by a researcher I really respect, Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, Blessed for Life. That's exactly it. Let me come back here. Your nervous system is your prophet. It anticipates frequency mismatches before you can justify staying. When you meet somebody, something inside you freezes, like there's something not safe about it. The gut feeling, which is why, to your point, Jack is my name, canon. The nervous system, the gut and the heart are superior to the brain. But most of us have made the brain the master. But let me keep going. Law number 3, what feels overwhelming is often a spiritual threshold. In other words, you're not breaking down if you go through a breakdown. You're breaking through because you have to break down to break through. I've had many crying nights and sleepless nights, and I know a number of you have too. Number 4, God lives in the heart, blessed for life. Oh, because you cannot apprehend God with a conscious mind, the conditioned mind, until the mind becomes luminous. You see? Hey, listen, Rita, you started a child support case? I want to hear more in a second. You are amazing. I want to hear that. That is incredible. The fourth law is the body will reject what no longer serves your expansion. I remember in my own experience, there's a point in time I couldn't eat meat anymore. I would just puke it out on certain foods, unless I was eating fish and vegetables. You see, that's an example. The body will reject what no longer serves your expansion. And then I want to add number 5, peace will feel foreign at first, but stay there because eventually your nervous system will adjust to God again. AB, you see what I'm saying? So what are some practices, and I want to start taking some questions shortly. What are some practices that can connect you to reopen your nervous system? And congratulations, AB. I'm so glad to hear that and see that. First of all, you cannot calibrate your nervous system where there is chaos. So it's important to find stillness and awareness and quiet. Find in silence. Let the chaos settle. Let your nervous system recalibrate through stillness, not struggle. Settle. Then somebody talked about breathing, breath work. breath sequencing, whether you're doing rule of four breathing or fire breathing, or just the most easiest and the most advanced is simply observing what is naturally happening, that breathing is happening. Kind of a Vipassana approach, anapanasati, right? Then embodied ritual movement rituals like yoga, like dancing, which is why I like to dance. I like to practice yoga, running. Napping is important, Erin, because you're so beat down, your nervous system is so tired, it needs that, right? And you can even meditate by laying down, Erin. You see? Oh, Rita, I get it. Then, another thing that is often not talked about is the importance of having spiritual baths. I'm a big proponent of having spiritual baths, right? So having spiritual baths is a very powerful way to get to the next level. But let's take a first question from you on Instagram. You want to comment in. Yvonne Gaze away. Are you there? Let's see, accept. There you go. How you doing? Hi, Yvonne. Can you hear us okay? Hello? Can you hear us okay, Yvonne? I don't think we can hear you. But let me keep going. So, somatic prayer. Prayer is another powerful way to do this, right? Where you can really get to the next level. You can get to the next level by using prayer in a very powerful way. You see, that will do that for you in a very powerful way. So you survived the narcissist, but now it's a real initiation, right? Okay, Yvonne, if your connection is not good, can you hang up and try again? Okay. You see, so this is what happens. You survived the narcissist, but now is the real initiation. So the question is, will you return to yourself? You see, will you return to yourself? You need to be respected. The nervous system needs to be heard. It needs to be freed. You are not broken. This is how you wake up yourself, by attuning to your body somatically, right? Not survivor. When I met someone, I realized the butterflies when I meet someone is emotional dysregulation. My CNS firing up with floods of chemicals, mainly cortisol and adrenaline. You got it. You see, know thyself. Know thyself. To thy own self be true. You see, because you cannot proceed forward without activating a nervous system that is calibrated to peace, and it takes a while. What does a spiritual bath consist of? Surreal. It depends on you, but in my case, using Epsom salts that have lavender in it, peppermint, these things remove toxins from your body. Not to mention that when you're submerged underwater, you are in direct communication to what is sublime. Does that make sense? Hi, Zazie. This is the whole game. To thy own self be true. So let's take some questions. Let's see who wants to come in and ask any questions. Just come on in. We'll invite some folks in here, get some voices. That the nervous system is the portal to your awakening. This is the whole game. Hi, Rita. How are you?
Hey, I'm well. How are you?
I'm well. So give us the update. You did the child support thing. How did you do it? What happened?
No, I had to drive all the way from Texas to Tennessee to get a voluntary admission of paternity paper. And if I didn't drive and go get it, I would have had to wait 6 to 8 weeks to start the child support case. So I decided to just get up and drive to Memphis, got the paperwork, brought it back, and then I did it online. And now I just feel even more free because I don't have to argue about child support or anything else ever again.
So for those who don't know your story, tell us what you told us a few weeks ago and what changed. Because this is very inspiring, Rita.
So of course, most of us who end up dealing with a narcissist at some point in our lives, we probably came from narcissistic families. I came from a narcissistic cult. I am the black sheep of my family. I'm 34 years old, but I've been alone most of my life and misunderstood and mistreated, and all of the things. I moved to Texas and I've been here. I met somebody a few years ago. I had a 6-year-old with them. They ended up being a narcissist, literally pulled the rug from under me. They were the perfect person. And then you know how that goes, you know what I mean? And ever since, he's been using child support to try to ruin my life, or just, you know what I mean, to do anything that he can to make it a hard time for me, even though I'm raising the child on my own.
Wow.
And he expected me to not be in the place that I am in. So it's just, he's really pissed. Like, when you stump somebody and you expect them to stay there, and they get up and their life is like a bazillion times better, you never expected it to be that way. So he's trying to punish me through financial.
This is so amazing, because for those who are just tuning in, a few weeks ago, Rita called. She'd been such a willing, loving partner. Didn't even put her ex, who's narcissistic, on child support, and he was playing with her. And when she started to find her own value, she took the steps, and now that game is over.
It's over.
Go ahead. Say what you're going to say. Go ahead.
And it's been almost 7 years, and for somebody, I've been super patient, and I didn't put this man on child support because he is doing things with his life, and I wanted him to be successful, like, even though we weren't together. And, I had to stop thinking like that and do what was best for me, because he was trying to destroy my mental health, even after leaving me with a newborn baby to take care of on my own.
You know what? This is for you. This is for you, Rita. This is called Thy Will. This is by Lila Ike.
Thank you.
Thy will always be done. Thy will always be done. Thy will always be done. What? Rita, this is for you. What are they going to do when God comes? Thy will always be done. Hey. Rita, do you know how amazing you are?
And it's time I start showing it.
Wait. Let me say that again. Do you know how amazing you are?
Yes.
Ooh! Do you know how amazing you are?
Yes.
Give thanks, yeah? Blessed love, Rita. Blessed love. Keep rising high. Keep releasing and rising high. You see me?
I do.
And you're welcome here anytime.
Thank you.
One love, one love, one love.
Right.
Ha! Wow. Wow. You see? This is what happens in the space. Oh, this is amazing. Let's take a call on Instagram. This is amazing. This is amazing, Kat. Hello there. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. What's your name? I'm Nana. What's your name?
My name's Lance.
Lance. So what it is, man? What happened to you?
Transformative experience.
What's your story?
I believe I recognized that the problems I was experiencing in my life were more or less a reflection of probably the pain and hurt that I was holding on to, and using that as comfort and an excuse. Yeah, I was blaming everyone else, and I needed to invert how I saw things.
Wow.
And everything started changing very rapidly then.
How long has this been?
It started accelerating very quickly about 2.5 years ago.
Wow. Wow.
And everything has shifted.
You know
since then.
You know what? When I look at you, you know what I see? I see a person who is now in touch with the divine within him. But a person who's come through so much hurt and pain and regret. And let me tell you, you've just found the greatest wealth, Lance. At a time when the world, is about to burn and is burning, you have found inner salvation. Do you know how amazing that is? Do you know how amazing that is?
I'm feeling it. Yeah.
That's the smile. No. Give me that smile. I want to see that smile. That's it. That's it. This is you. Not this. This is you. And if you can get used to the great Buddhist master Thich Nhat Hanh said, you cannot be angry or sad when you play a smile on your face until that smile becomes your permanent disposition because you have found the bliss within. Am I talking to you?
Oh, yes.
And everything that you've been through, everything you've done, everything that's done to you is all forgiven. I'm talking to you because I know that's what you've done.
Thank you.
And I'm confirming for you that you have chosen yourself. Lance?
Yes.
There's no one like you. And remember to use your power, your understanding for healing. Therefore, you become a lighthouse for other people's healing. Not because you seek them out, but because they are assigned to you. You're part of this morphic resonance. Because, they talk about 144,000 waking up. But 144,000 is just a metaphorical number. It's the same number of junk DNA we have. And when we hit this threshold, when more people are waking, it's called morphic resonance. You're part of that, Lance.
Thank you.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, I feel it.
So
I actually feel it.
Connect to the shaman within you.
Yes.
And let your light shine because you are beautiful as a gentle soul, even though the world tried to make you otherwise.
Thank you.
Where are you based, my brother?
I'm in Newcastle, Australia.
Oh my God, all the way down under.
Yes.
So I'm sending you good vibes, and if you can go find some Aborigines who know the truth, they can help you.
Yes.
Am I a crazy person, or am I talking to you?
You're signaling straight to the center of my heart.
Go find some of my Aborigine brothers. They will tell you what is happening to you.
Okay.
To you.
Yes. Yes.
Because they know you.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying, my brother down under?
Oh, I feel it. I can actually feel it.
So before I let you go, what are your final words for the group on YouTube and TikTok? You're on Instagram. What are your words? What do you have to offer?
The greatest thing anyone can do for themselves is found in the service to others.
You said it. So I just want to remind you, do your job. Do your job.
Okay.
By being the lighthouse, by being kind and finding strength in that kindness. Do you see what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
And you're welcome here anytime. And if I can ever be of help to you, you can book a free session on my website. But if not, you can come back here anytime. You hear me?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much.
One love, my brother. One love, yeah? One love.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank
Lance.
you.
Peace, 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 peace,
You have a
peace.
good night.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, man. This is what it is. You see? This is what it is. It's happening real time. It's happening real time. Hey, H. Toda, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Let me ask you this. What has happened to you, radiant being?
Well, actually, I've learned something. I've been on a journey for a little while, and I'm trying not to reiterate or continue to tell the stats, my story. I don't want to focus on the negative. I want to focus on what I learned and also on how to continue to move forward. So the other day, you actually said something that resonated with me. I think it was on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I was on YouTube, and you said somebody asked about the rent, and you said it's going to be higher than the rent. So how does a person that is seeing the reality of today's economy, how do they not see that and continue to have that focus or develop the focus of, okay, I see
the economy is, but I need to think beyond that.
Let me answer you, my dear sister.
Okay, thank you.
You see that copper ring you're wearing?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're already in touch with what's unseen.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question. Can you see Wi-Fi?
Can I see?
I'm asking you. Can you see Wi-Fi?
Come on. No, can't see it. Okay.
But you know it works. Okay. You know it works, right?
Right.
And you want to ask me questions about the divine authority within you that is the source of everything. What?
I concur. Okay.
And you have your divine authority relies on absolute, irrevocable faith, backed by what Neville Goddard calls inspired action. Inspired action is pointless without faith. In the same way, faith is pointless without inspired action. Because when you take inspired action, when you don't even know what the outcome is, you are sending a signal to the field. I'm already famous. I'm already rich. I'm already whole. Am I making this up?
You're on point.
This is a walk that you have to embody yourself, because you are a light worker. How are you going to tell anybody about quantum jumping and timeline shifting when you haven't done it yourself? How are you going to tell anybody about peace when you haven't done it? Now, I'm talking to you today in this way because you're already walking the walk. I see your radiant nature dissipating that pain. I see your hair, your locks, your crown.
Oh, yes, we are.
I see your crown. And these are antennas, you know this. And I see that copper ring. That copper ring told me everything I need to know. Here's the message for you. Your ancestors are with you. Finish crying. You haven't finished crying. Finish crying. And when you finish crying your tears of sorrow, you start crying tears of joy. That's a monetary. Don't even look at them. That's a monetary spirit.
Okay.
They're trying to break your transmission. Don't you know how this field works? All these Agent Smiths everywhere. You think they're not where you are? Everything works across time. Don't even look. You look. You got it. You are funny. Let me land here. Let me land with the message. Here's the message. You already chose yourself.
Amen. Yes.
You already chose yourself.
Yes, sir.
And you're already in the lineage that I come from, Kemet. You are connected to ancient Egypt just like I am. And you're here worried about the economy? Because if you worry about the economy, what's the economy going to give you? Things to worry about. When you're realistic about the economy, then you take action. You worry about the economy, you are the target. You're going to become a statistic. So which frequency are you tied to? Which frequency are you tied to? The frequency of abundance. If you're tied to the frequency of abundance, you will move in purpose. If you move in purpose, you're going to take inspired action. When you take inspired action, you'll come back to faith. And what happens? Evidence. Because you magnetize that. You become the alchemist, shifting brass to gold. This is how everything works. Even for the non-believers who've attracted wealth, they did it because they knew it was inevitable they were going to make it. So your wealth is in you first. There's nothing outside. In the same way, your poverty is also in you first.
Right. We have faith in the poverty. We have to relearn that.
But the reason you've been through the trauma you've been through is so you are awakened at this time, just like the brother before Lance.
Right.
And why wake up at this time? Because the first will be last, and the last will be first. Should I say that again? I'm going to come to it. The first will be last, and the last will be first. I just yelled that to you. Did you feel that?
Yes, sir. I got it. I'm plugged in.
So before I let you go, how is this landing for you? What is coming up for you?
It's resonating. It's resonating. I have to continue to get those messages in my head so I can brainwash myself. And it takes faith. One thing that you said that really resonated with me was you said have delusional faith. Have delusional. Just be delusional or unrealistic about it, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to try that.
That's because we are delusional with our fears.
Right. Yes, that's my point. Mm-hmm. It's right. It's true. And we accept those fears. All right. Well, I thank you. Continue blessings to you and your little one. And I thank you. Continue to share your good message, brother.
One love, my sister. One love, yes?
Correct.
One love. Yeah, this is what it is. Global, the crown of love. Exactly. Retrograde. That's exactly it. Treasure Star, how you feeling? How you feeling? You see, this is what it is. These are the times we're in. You see? So when you realize this, you realize that everything comes from the body, the nervous system. This is why your nervous system is attacked by advertisers and by anyone who has messaging to you that they want to use to brainwash you. So why don't you become the brainwasher in your own life? Why don't you become the brainwasher in your own life? This is the whole point, Equinox. This is the whole point. What if a person that has always been fast now feels like I'm the last person is disturbing? What happened, Faith? Tell me more. You want to come in and talk? That's a very good question. But I feel like it's layered with a lot of context. So I want to hear your context, Faith. What is there for you? What is that about, Faith? Oh, Janice, thank you. You see, this is The Creator Has a Master Plan by Pharoah Sanders. The Creator Has a Master Plan from 1971, I think. Pharoah Sanders. Highly spiritual music. Wanting others to rise is a tall order. Why do you say that? Why do you say that, Global? What makes you say that? I'm sure there's a lot of wisdom there. I want to hear it. So, folks, is any question? Maybe we take one more question. Who wants to come in on TikTok? If you want to come in, just say me, and I'll invite you in. Right? This is what it is. This is the whole game. This is the whole game. This is how you wake up. You see? Oh my goodness. Wanting others to rise in tall order. So here's a message. When in doubt, understand that your challenges come from an uncalibrated nervous system. And to win, you just recalibrate your nervous system. And your nervous system has to be trained to get used to peace. Because if you've been through abuse of any kind, your nervous system is trained to attract chaos. You see? And until you overcome that, you're going to keep repeating this loop. So this is the message for you today. This is the message. How is this landing for you? Hopefully it's landing well. I could always manifest what I wanted now. People have done it several. I could always manage what I wanted. Now people have done several humiliation rituals, so it's hard. Yeah, because the humiliation rituals are a curse to own this. So you have to win it back by pushing that away. I thought family was divine until. I get it. You see? And this is what they would do. These narcissists would try to play God, like Yadko is saying, play God. But you got to wake up with your meditation. So the message is your body is a powerful tool. Your nervous system knows everything. Trust your nervous system. I'm so glad, Brittany, this is connected for you. So that's the message for you today. You see, that is the message. That's the message. Trust your intuition, trust your body, and know that just like you've internalized and normalized chaos and fear with your amygdala, you can also normalize peace and love and light with your nervous system by grounding and by being aware that the only way the narcissists have access to you is through a program nervous system. You see what I'm saying? Just wake up to the truth of who you are and realize there's no one like you. Exactly. So, family, I just want to thank you for your time and your attention, for your love. We are in this together. We are rising together, right? We're rising together. And today, no matter what you do, find a reason to find something to celebrate in your life. Find something to celebrate in your life. And I hope to see you again next Monday. Yes? Peace and light and one love always. Always love. You understand me? Always love. Always love. Always love. Always love. Thank you.